Hello, one and all. We are back on some Rivals, but before we actually go into the game itself, a little bit of gameplay. We had a bunch of stuff dropped today. We have the Ultron, the character reveal trailer, and then we also have some patch notes, the balance patch notes that are coming out that same day. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through them together a little bit, and then we're going to get right into the gameplay. Thank you for being our first chatter, Chai. Babe, yes, Jess, you should play. But first, flip a coin and see if, like, what your fate decides. The coin is always the answer. What's up, Ducky? What's up, Toxic? What's up, everybody? Alright, let's do this. Now, I have already seen the trailer, but I just want to go over it with you guys a little bit, show anybody that might have missed it today. And then some of these balance patch notes I've looked at, some I haven't, so we're going to go through these as well. Alright, but let's do it. I don't like theater mode, actually. That looks weird. I don't like that. Okay. This is very loud.
Today, the age of Ultron begins.
Can we just talk about how... I can't even, like... He's got that aura! That aura! I actually, you know what I need to do? Hold on. Hold on, folks. This could potentially be a really sick background. So we're just gonna save this. Pop it in the Discord for anybody that might want to have it, to use it for certain things. That is a sick screenshot. I'm not even gonna hold you. Alright. So here's his basic attack, it looks like. It does use up ammo. You see how it like goes down by 1 each time. But it looks like it has a pretty far fucking range. He's got the flight in case he gets dove. This right here, so this is going very fast, obviously. We'll go back here real quick. So his basic attack seems like it's almost kind of like a burst fire of what Iron Man has on his right click. And then each one, like each burst is one of his 6 in the chamber. He's able to fly away really quickly, and then he gets the free flight, which allows him to go a little bit higher, I'm guessing. It looks like he can basically fly normally, kind of, but like only just above the ground. I don't know how that works as far as like ground-based ults like Thing or something like that. That might be able to still use his ult on him, or if him hovering kind of counteracts that. I have no idea. I don't really play flyers myself. But this is a nice little escape tool in case he gets dove. Now here's his, so you see this little calculator's little number thing here? These are his drones, so he could put a drone, kind of like if you've ever played Overwatch, he could put a drone on an ally, and then I believe that it's an AoE heal around whoever the ally that's on the drone. So like for example, we put it on this Strange, so now this Groot's going to get healing as well. If this Strange drops back, these two are going to get healed as well. And it should theoretically heal Ultron too, so that's pretty cool. What's up, Archangel? Welcome in. We're just breaking down some of the news from today, and we're going to get right into the gameplay here. Yeah, and then that little defense matrix that he has, the little square here, it looks like it gives a shield to everybody that's within, like, his view. Basically. And look at the range on that. Do you see the range on that? Look at how far away he is. That's insane. I'm telling you guys, this is going to be the age of both flyers and hit scan. That is going to be the meta right now, and so it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of counters, what kind of rock, paper, scissors metrics we got going on for this upcoming season. But that is far fucking range, and I don't want to hear shit about supports being like, oh, we can't fight back. You have Ultron now, you can fight back. Technically, you could always fight back, but... Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about. Look at all of this. Do you see all this flight that's happening right now? The ground is non-existent. It's gonna be fucking full flying meta, unless you have like a Hawkeye Heller or something, Black Widow, to like snipe people out of the sky. I'm kind of scared for Vanguards, because they don't really have an effective counter for flyers. Other than like Hulk, basically, and that's only if the Hulk can connect reliably with the jump. And the jump is kind of buggy at times. Like, you will swear you hit the person, and then you don't end up hitting them. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with to counter it. He gets the fucking Halo energy sword, apparently. I don't know if this is actually part of his kit. Maybe it's his melee or something. But this is literally... literally the Halo energy sword. I think Ultron scanned the internet and was like, what's the most badass melee weapon I could conjure off my arm? And he found this. I do like, this is a better color though. And then this is his ultimate. He just spawns multiple copies of himself, basically. And then as he's flying around, it looks like it heals allies and it does a bunch of damage to enemies. And it gives him the free flight as well. So he essentially has 2 free flight abilities.
All targets eliminated.
Yeah. Fucking sick, dude. This is going to be a really fun character, and I highly doubt he's going to be able to get through ranked without getting banned. A lot of the time, newer characters get banned in ranked when they first come out. I know some characters, actually, when they first come out, they don't even allow them in ranked. I think Paragon, or not Paragon, Predecessor does this. At least off the top of my head. I can't really think of other games specifically that do it, but I know other games do it because it allows the dust to settle on what the new character actually, like, their capabilities are. But yeah, Ultron looks really cool. I'm excited to try him out. I need to get better with flyers. I suck with flyers, and I suck with hit scan. I need to get better with both of these this season. Alright, so now we're going to go through the patch notes real quick. I'm going to try to be somewhat quick here, because I want to get into the games, obviously, with you guys. Speaking of, if you guys want in for games, just hop into the VC and get on Rivals, and we'll grab you. But, we're going to start with Vanguards. Captain America. He gets slight hit to his survivability and ultimate frequency. Guess even super soldiers need a breather. I'm not going to read through all that every time. So he's taking a 25 health reduction. They're increasing the delay of the shield recovery from 2 seconds to 4 seconds after a... What is Living Legend? Is that when he just raises the shield? I think it is, I want to say. So you're not going to be able to just, like... You know what I mean? There's going to be a little bit more delay to it. And then there's going to be a little bit more... it's going to take a little longer to get to his ult. So I think Cap is still going to be good. I think he's still going to be really solid. I'm still going to play him for sure. We had a ranked game the other day where I didn't know who else to play but him because we were just getting pressured so hard by a poke team comp. So I went Captain America and I just stayed in their backline for a million years. I think with this change, he's basically going to go from staying in the backline for, I don't know, 4 minutes to like 3.5 minutes. You know what I mean? It won't be as bad, but he'll still be there. He'll still be usable. Doctor Strange, he's getting a slight boost in the damage of his abilities. Good. This is all good. Because right now, with the way Strange is, he doesn't feel like he could do too much damage. He kind of feels just like a shield bot. And so it's nice that they're kind of reverting him back to a little bit at least. I don't know if these are the same numbers as he had before, but they're reverting him at least a little bit back to what he was before, where he could shield, but that wasn't all that he could do. He actually has some killing potential, so that's good. Also, removing the range damage fall off from the Maelstrom, that's the explosion that he does when he builds up the dark energy. That is going to be very interesting, because you're going to be able to do full fucking damage even out from his body a fair bit. I know that kind of, that really shafted him, because unless you were really close to somebody, you were barely hitting them at all. Yes, it is Tislet. I'll be answering comments more once I get done with these patch notes. But thank you guys for being here. Welcome in. If you're just getting here, we will be doing games shortly here. Emma Frost. So she seems like she's getting both buffs and nerfs. She's getting essentially buffs to her regular stance, her regular form, and then her diamond form is going to be getting nerfs. So she's getting more range for her basic attack. Good, because I feel like it's very deceptive as far as like when you use it. Because you always think you're hitting somebody, and then a lot of the time you're actually not touching them at all. So, you know. Oh, no worries. I deafened myself on Discord. I preempted this, Tisla. No worries. I got it covered. Oh, she's actually getting a... I didn't see this before. So, she's getting both buffs and nerfs to her standard form. The shield is going from 500 to 400. So, it's going to be a little easier to break through. That's cool. She's kind of like a jack of all trades in a way, where she's anti-dive, but she's also a shield tank, but she's also like control with the ult. She can do a lot of things at once, and so tune is down a little bit, I'm fine with. We got plenty of shields anyway, especially with the buffs to Strange and Magneto that I've heard about. I don't think I read them exactly. Well, Strange we did, obviously, but I don't think I saw Magneto yet. He's not coming up yet. But, But yeah, I'm excited to see how that affects it. The Carbon Crush, I think, is the choke, I want to say. So that's going to get a bit of a cooldown increase. I think when it goes from 5 to 6, I think you can only do 1. I think if you timed it perfectly, you're able to actually do 2 when you go into diamond form. But now that's at 6 seconds, you might only be able to get away with 1, which is good. Because that is an insane anti-dive combo, doing the choke and the kick. And it does so much damage. And you see here, they're also nerfing the damage for the kick as well. Both like the actual kick damage and the wall damage that you get. Good. So it's effectively a 20 damage nerf, basically, when you're doing the full combo. As well as the nerf to the cooldown for it. So she'll still be able to use it, you just gotta time it a little bit better. And it won't have as much uptime, so that's good. Groot. He is still Groot. Good. But this character has been constantly permabanned in ranked all the time. I love playing him, but even I constantly ban him. He's just an annoyance on the battlefield. He shifts everything to his desire, essentially. And he definitely is going to need some sort of nerfs here. So the damage that he's getting, it's a little bit of a damage nerf. Not much, but a little bit of a damage nerf from the tiny walls. And then the big wall is getting a 4-second nerf to the cooldown. That's crazy. Okay. I'm wondering if you're able to take it down quickly, if it'll still have the same cooldown that it had before. I'm not really sure about that. I know that this to 12 seconds, though, is going to be really solid. Because you feel like he can never die between the wall's own health. I think the wall has, like, what, 800 health or something like that? I could be lying. It could be a little less. But he also himself has, like, 750, 850 health, right? So between the two of them, it's basically a 2,000 health tank that could just erect the wall to give himself the extra health, you know what I mean? And it also blocks off all the heals from the enemy supports all the way in the back to their, like, tanks if they're pushing up, stuff like that. So yeah, these are all solid nerfs. I'm glad they're not nerfing, like, other parts of his damage. I do like the idea of... I don't like heavy-handed nerfs that, like, destroy a character all at once. I like being able to see how they adjust things bit by bit. Like, if this is enough, and he doesn't get permabanned, and I feel like he won't because there's going to be so many characters that are much stronger, then I think that'll definitely be good to see. Because I would like to play him. I like playing him. I like being able to set up for the team with the ult. I like using the walls to kind of cut lines of sight and stuff like that. He's a really interesting character. Simple, but effective. Magneto is getting a increase to the charging speed, so he's going to be able to basically just do the right click a little bit more. That should allow him to have a little bit more pressure on enemies, instead of just being a shield bot as well. He's never been, like, fully a shield bot, not in the way Doctor Strange has been lately. He always has been kind of a threat, especially with the left click, like fully charged right click into another left click combo. That combo, that three-piece combo, essentially is able to, I want to say, if not outright delete a squishy, almost delete the squishy. Like, they're going to be very low if they get hit by all of those at once. Thor's getting a bunch of changes, it looks like. I think I read some of this before, but we're going to read it again. By Odin's beard, Thor's abilities are getting a tweak. So it looks like his hammer throw... So his hammer throw, this is very interesting here, that his hammer throw is not going to be linked to the rest of his kit. As far as, like, if you use an ability, it like, consumes a Thor force. And, like, they all have, like, a universal cooldown. Instead, they're just making it a standard ability with its own cooldown and everything. It's going to be a solid 6 seconds. And it looks like you gain 1 Thor force. So you still do get Thor force from it, from hitting people. It just doesn't use up a Thor force to actually throw it out. They're nerfing the damage, though. Holy shit. Throw hit damage from 70 to 45, and the return damage from 30 to 20. So it's going to be a nice little, like, bing, nice little, like, little poke tool. It's not going to be able to do as much damage as you think it will be. I think the left-click hammer throw, left-click combo, kind of like how Magneto does it, it'll still be useful when they're lower health, when you're trying to finish somebody off. But I think that it's definitely going to be a little bit harder to do, for sure. But it is nice that they're taking it off the cooldown. I mean, when you think of Thor, what's one of the things you think about him? What's very common is that he chucks the hammer, and then it comes back to him. This is, like, literally one of his trademark abilities across all major forms of media. And so it'll be nice to be able to use this more instead of having it be linked to his Thor Force stuff and his Thor Force cooldowns. And having basically, you know, nobody ever use it. I know I really never use it. It's very rare unless someone's super low health. and I don't have the dash or something that I want to use to put myself out of position or something, it's very rare that I use it, and I know that goes for a lot of Thor players. So hopefully this will allow him to just be able to use it a bit more, since you're not, like, costing the resource for it. And then you're also not getting as much shield when you're using Thor Force, from 100 to 75. Okay. So he's not going to be as tanky. It seems like they're shifting him more into that damage tank role instead of the tanky tank role. He's always been kind of an off tank. You can never solo tank with a Thor. You're kind of throwing if you do. And it seems like, so he's not going to be doing as much damage, but he's going to be able to brawl a bit better with the ability to use the hammer throw outside of that Thor Force stuff. I think he'll still be decent. I use him mainly, I'll switch to Thor if we're just not able to go through an enemy front line, essentially. He's very good for being, I call it a bunker buster, essentially. Where he could just keep using the runes and throwing out the lightning and stuff like that. I love how this is literally the animation that he does, guys, in case you were wondering if you haven't played Thor before. But I will still use him for that purpose, because sometimes, like, if you're fighting a Strange, Magneto, something like that, you gotta burn through those shields somehow, and if you don't have divers going into the backline to distract the rest of the team, the only other option is to just bully your way through the front line, and Thor's really good at doing that, so long as he's not the only tank in the team. Hawkeye. Clint is getting a big boost to his regular hits. Lovely Hawkeye buffs. I hate this already. They're giving him 2 extra damage on the base damage of his arrow. They're reducing the projectile damage of Blast Arrow. That doesn't matter because nobody really uses Blast Arrow, let's be real. Why use Blast Arrow when you can one-shot with his regular arrow, you know? Maximum focus, it's going to take him, like, slightly longer to get to that maximum focus, I guess. Increase the charging speed. Oh, never mind. So I thought it would take longer, but then they're increasing the charging speed, so it doesn't seem like it's going to be much of a change at all, really. But we'll see how that shakes out. I mean, the fact that they're buffing, even in these notes, Hawkeye Hela, right off the fucking bat, tells me it's going to be a battle between flying meta, where everybody's up in the air, and they can't be hit by a large percentage of the cast, and poke meta, where you got people like Hawkeye Hela, or sniper meta, I guess you could call it, that could just snipe them out of the sky. And it's just going to be a matter of who wins out of that, basically. I love how Hela's getting another buff. I feel like she's the darling child of Nettie's here. Increase the charging capacity of the Night Sword Thorn from 8 to 10. I think, is this the right click, I want to say? Where she gets, like, the little baby swords around her head, and then they shoot out after a while. I feel like that's what that is. I could be wrong, though. We can always check that later if we really want to, but I doubt it. Human Torch! A flyer! I believe he's getting nerfed, though. Less damage and survivability. Looks like you're getting a little less heat. Reduce the damage of fire cluster to 7 per 6, so that's his shotgun, like his primary ability. So that's getting nerfed, good. This character's broken. This character's literally the best DPS in the game, that's why he's permabanned and ranked. So it's nice that they're finally nerfing him. Increase the charge speed of Blazing Blast. I think that's his right click. So I guess they're making him more of a zoner than a poker, which is fine by me. I do think that's probably the best part of his kit, is the zoning aspect. That's the only reason I've ever played him a bit. I haven't played him much, but I've played him a little bit. But I do think that's a unique thing for him. Not a lot of other DPS can really say that they have, like, zoning capabilities, basically. And then the last thing is that they're decreasing the shield value from that dive move, the Flaming Meteor move, from 75 to 50, and they increase the cooldown. So they realize that he's too tanky for his own good when they made this change to him. So I'm glad that they're nerfing that. Good. He could actually die. He could actually die more now. That's good to see. Iron Fist. I think he's taking a nerf as well. Yes, damage and survivability. Lower Dragon's defense damage blocked. Bonus health. So this is when he does the block. The ding, 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 and then he punches you a bunch. It's my Iron Fist impression. I hope you enjoyed that. But they're making it so he doesn't get as much health from that. Good, 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 good. That's very good to see. Decrease maximum bonus health converted from damage to 2. Yeah, so they're basically just making him less tanky here. Slightly decrease the dash distance of Yat Ji Chung Quinn. I'm saying this so wrong. In the Z-axis direction. So this is probably to combat people using the right click and then just punching their way into the sky away from danger. I think that's what that is. Don't quote me, but I think that's what that is. So it looks like they're tuning that down a solid amount. And then reducing the defense cooldown reduction. So they're actually just completely nerfing the defensive aspect of his kit, the parry aspect of his kit, from 1.5 seconds to 1 second. Yeah, so they're both nerfing the health that you get from it, and they're also nerfing how long you're able to use it for, or how many times you're able to use it for, by lowering this cooldown reduction too. So hopefully he'll actually be killable next season. That's pretty neat. Iron Man is getting a reduction in his repulsor blast damage and burst survivability. So apparently Iron Man's been an issue more and more this season, so they're starting to nerf him too. They completely removed the Gamma Overdrive. That's totally fine to me because it didn't really give him much of a benefit anymore, especially since they gave him, what was it, like the damage bonus a while ago. And I don't think they're changing that, right? Projectile damage, armor, no. So they're keeping the right-click damage. That right-click damage, they upped that. So that you didn't have to, or you like weren't forced to have Hulk in your team comp all the time, basically. So that's not really going to matter as far as like not having the team up anymore. And plus he gets the team up, the new team up with whatchamacallit, with Ultron. So it's not like he's losing something and then gaining nothing. He's still getting a team up. Projectile damage of the third repulsor blast from 50 to 45. Oh, so I guess the boom, 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 like the third one in his regular chain of primary attacks, that did more damage. I had no clue. I don't play this character. I did not know that. And then the spell field, so you're going to have to be a little bit more accurate with your blasts, it looks like. That's okay, I guess. And then armor overdrive from 100 to 50. Yeah, this was kind of crazy that he just got a free bonus 100 health when he activated his most powerful form. So not only was he tankier, he also did all the more damage with the armor overdrive. So I'm glad they're nerfing that a bit as well. It's good to see, like, so we've already seen Torch get nerfed and we've already seen Iron Man get nerfed. That's two big flyers in Rivals. And because this is going to be a flyer meta, we already know it. It's nice that they're not just going to, you know, buff every flyer, basically. Namor. Increase the cooldown of Blessing of the Deep from 15 to 20 seconds. Is that his bubble? Where he, like, rises with the bubble, I want to say? I think it is. So he'll have a little less survivability. You're going to have to be careful if someone dives you. You're going to have to really, like, hold on to this until the very last second. Because I believe it makes you immune as well for a few seconds. Horn of Proteus, that's the ult from... Oh, the inner circle. So the inner circle does the most damage. That's where you try to aim the most. To try to get maximum value out of it to one-shot people. From 3 to 3.5, and outer circle radius from 8 to 9. Decrease the outer circle radius hit damage from 200 to 180. So they're nerfing the... Hold on, let me describe this real quick. Hold, please. So basically what they're doing... sorry for the flashbang, folks. So this is his ult area of effect, typically. There's two of them. This smaller circle, big damage. Lots of damage. This is a really bad plus sign, I'm sorry. This is where you want to hit people to one-shot them. They're basically making this bigger. And then, what did they say here? And they're making this bigger as well. So they're basically just making the ult bigger in general. But then essentially what they're doing is they're lowering the damage on the outer one. So you're really going to want to try to aim a bit better with that main, that like middle circle, essentially. This is not a boob. If this was a boob, this would be a very awkwardly looking boob with a lot of different weird hairs that look like arrows bursting out of it. This is not a boob. I try to explain things to you. I can't believe this. My chat is sabotaging me. I need to save that as a marker. Oh god. And then Monstro Spawn damage fall off. So that is the team up, I believe, with Hulk. From starting at 20 meters, reducing to 30% at 40 meters, to starting at 20 meters, reducing to 50% at 40 meters. So the further out you are, the less damage it's going to do, basically. Which is good, 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 good. Namor's another, like, terror. Another scourge. Especially if you're diving. It's a scourge. Very hard to deal with sometimes. Psylocke's getting a nerf as well. This character's, like, sneaky good. I feel like not enough people play this character. She is one of the best DPS in the game right now, especially with the Emma team up to make the clone. Because you could basically just one-shot combo people. I know boobs have hair. My boobs have hair. That doesn't mean that they look like arrows. That would be very strange. Anyway, I'm trying to get through this so we can play the game, and you guys are being fiends, absolute monstrosities in chat right now. Decrease the retrieval damage of wing shurikens. I'll be honest, I have never played Psylocke before. I think I maybe tried her once on stream, so I don't know what all of this means. The invisibility, though, I do know what that is. I don't know what the wing shurikens are. I don't think that's her basic attack. I think that's like an actual ability. But the invisibility duration is now only 2 seconds, so she's going to have to be a little more careful with how she uses it. Alright, that's good, that's good. Squirrel Girl, I think, is getting a whole bunch of buffs. Yikes. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like this character is another character, kind of like Psylocke, where she's, like, sneaky good. Where, like, officially she's not, like, top tier, but she could, like, wreck your shit if you're even, like, halfway decent with her. Increase the capacity of Burst Acorn from 10 to 12, so you get 2 more nuts in the chamber, apparently. You decrease the cooldown of Mammal Bond. I believe that's the ability that lets her reset cooldowns, I want to say, I think. And then, so she'll be able to reset cooldowns a little bit faster. And then optimize the user experience of Squirrel, Blockade, Tail Bounce, and Unbeatable Squirrel Tsunami. No idea what that means, but I guess it'll be cozier to use. Star-Lord. Peter's having his ultimate frequency reduced, but his ultimate power increased. So, basically, wait. So, he'll be able to ult less. Right? I'm reading this right. He's going to ult less because it's going to take longer to get there. But when he does ult, it's going to be doing more damage. I mean, this basically just means that you have to save a support ult for this character. Like, it's not an option. You have to have, like, a Luna ult, a Cloak and Dagger ult, a Invisible Woman ult, a Ultron ult. I don't know if Ultron ult could even, like, out-heal it, to be honest. We haven't seen, like, fully what it's capable of. But one of those, like, essentially invincibility ults you're going to have to save for Star-Lord. I know a lot of people do already, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people, you hear him, and they either have used a support ult before that fight, or before that ability, or they get it, like, afterwards, after they, like, spawn back in or something, you know? So hopefully people will at least learn to save it a little bit more for that. Storm's getting a buff. I guess Star-Lord's kind of a pseudo-flyer if we go back to the flyer metric. But Storm's definite, like, 100% flyer. And it looks like they're only buffing her ult, so it does a little bit more damage per second. Again, like, her ult's busted. Just keep a support ult in the back for when she uses it, and you should be okay. Also, please, guys, please start shooting Storm in her ult. She is not invincible in her ult. Even if she looks like she's a Storm that cannot die, she can die. It's literally just a big overshield. She can be focused, and she can be killed. So please start shooting at her. I can't tell you how many times I've been ranked, and I'm like, guys, shoot the Storm ult. And they're like, oh, what? And they just die. Punisher's getting a boost a bit to his mid to long range damage and a slight mobility buff during his ultimate. So he's going to be a little faster in his ult, basically. Okay. So I'm just going to run away faster then. Or just Magneto charge with his ultimate, throw the meatball at his face. And then increase Adjudication's magazine size from 30 to 40. So that's his regular rifle. That's not the shotgun. Single hit damage from 18 to 19 and slightly reduce spread when firing. So Punisher's going to be stronger. So again, like, I'm glad that they're buffing. If they're going to buff flyers and it's going to be like a flyer meta, then, well, certain flyers. The other flyers got nerfed, obviously, but it will still be a flying meta. Don't get me wrong here. I'm glad they're also buffing the poke as well to counteract it again. And this goes back to, like, they announced it from the very beginning with this game, like, the way that they do balancing and stuff like this. There's a really big rock, paper, scissors dynamic where you have dive in one corner, you have poke in another corner, and you have, like, flight or anti-dive. I guess flight and anti-dive, or, like, anti-dive could be, like, in the middle somewhere. But flight's another big one as well. And, like, poke will counter flight, flight will counter dive, dive will counter poke. Like, and it kind of just goes in that triangle, you know what I mean? Punisher B instead of C tier now? Yeah. I mean, he's still really strong. He's still really good at poking. You just gotta be careful. But, you know, in general, he's gonna be a little bit deadlier here. Jeff. This is a lot of text for Jeff that I did not read, so we're gonna read it here. Add a new effect to Joyful Splash. Now deals damage. Oh! So his heal, I believe Joyful Splash is his heal, where he just, like, spits at people. I believe that that's what that is. And now it's gonna actually deal damage at 70%. Huh? 70 per second? That's a lot of damage. Holy crap! It can heal allies through other allies, but not through enemies. Damage fall-off starts... Oh, but the damage fall-off. Okay, we're fine. He's got to be up close if it's going to do more damage like that. But, okay, okay. Interesting. Change Aqua Burst. So this is his right-click, I believe. Now you only get 3 charges max and 3 seconds per charge. So you can no longer just hold right-click. Just start lobbing spit at people and killing them in the back line. Direct hit now launch enemies up and increases the effectiveness from 40 to 45, like the spell field, the little like bubble that it creates on the ground. So that'll be interesting. It does a little more... Oh, it doesn't do more damage, actually. It doesn't do more damage. It's just a little bit bigger of a field of effect. But you don't get to use it as much. So they're basically gutting the backline triple strategist DPS Jeff meta that we've seen for ages now. Thank God. Fuck this character. I hate this character so much. It's such a duality with him because what'll happen, 2 things can happen here. You'll have a Jeff in the backline. You either A, have to just elect as a team to completely ignore him and then focus the rest of his team. Or B, you choose to turn around and actually focus him and he doesn't die and just runs away, or he's able to 1v1 you and kill you. Either way, he doesn't die or he gets away. He's a very annoying character, and so I'm glad that they're changing him to be more of an actual healer instead of this weird hybrid backline DPS annoyance character. I understand and I like the idea of characters being used out of their supposed roles, but that was just annoying as shit, and I feel like most people would agree with that. Even like the Jeff mains know that it's annoying as shit. I don't mind at all, Nylon. Yeah, go for it. I don't really have a queue at the moment. We're going to run through these and then start playing. The effect of the healing bubble from one-time healing to healing over time. Increase healing amount from the previous instant. 85 to 120 over 4 seconds. Oh, so it's going to be healing over time instead of the burst heal that you get from the bubbles. Reduce max charges from 6 to 3. And remove the enemy launch-up effect. I guess that makes sense because the launch-up is now going to be on his right-click. So he's still going to have a launch-up mechanic in case people are like close to ledges and stuff. Wow. So they're really just gutting. Yeah, because part of what he would do in the backline is just spit bubbles forever, move super fast, and then just instantly get healed to full every time. Hide and Seek as well. Now it's an energy cap and drains by 20 seconds, 20 per second while submerged and restores 15 per second when not. So now it has a an actual like mechanic to it, kind of like how Iron Man has the flight mechanic and a lot of other characters have, where you can only use it for so long before it burns out and you have to wait for it to come back. So you got to time a little bit better. Yeah, all of this is just gutting the whole backline Jeff gameplay loop. Thank God. Finally. Overflow healing on swallowed allies now grants 45 health per second as bonus health, so he'll be tankier when he ults. That's fine with me. I like his ult. I think his ult's really cool. I think it's a really unique mechanic. I still think it's annoying in the game, but I think it's a necessary annoyance in the game. Backline DPS Jeff was not a necessary annoyance. The ult, necessary annoyance. I like that it's so different than what other characters have, especially like other supports. Other supports have invincibility ults. He just swallows everybody. And then the last thing, increased damage reduction when taking a critical hit from 50 to 70%. So I know he has a passive, right? Because he's basically all head. Like, that's basically his entire body. That he takes less damage from headshots. So I think they're just increasing that as well so he doesn't get headshot much. Alright, good. This is honestly probably the best thing I've seen these entire patch notes. Thank God. Fuck that. Luna booster combat prowess, reducing the frequency of her ult. She's getting more healing and damage from light and dark ice healing. Is that her primary, or is that the like that? I love how I played the game enough. I feel like I can somewhat reenact what people could do in the game, but I'm not sure if that's the shotgun burst or just the regular primary fire. But either way, you're going to be getting more damage for it, and the healing amount too is good. Absolute 0, 50 bonus health per enemy hit. No, maybe Absolute 0 is the shotgun. The That's our primary. Okay, so Absolute 0 has to be the shotgun then. Okay. So you get a little tankier as well when you're hitting people. Interesting. Yeah, because this can go through people, correct? I believe you could go through people with this. Increase the energy cost of Fate of Both Worlds. That's the ult. To 5,000. Wow. I don't know how this translates into, like how much damage you're doing or how much heals you're doing, basically, to get there. But 500 sounds like a massive increase. Okay, so she won't have it every team fight, basically. Good. Good. It's such a potent... It's probably, like, what? One of the best support ults in the entire fucking game. So I'm glad that you're going to have to take a little longer to do it. And it seems like you're going to be able to heal more anyway. So it should all balance out overall. Like, it shouldn't take too long to get to, obviously. But I don't like the idea of supports having ults every fight. You know what I mean? I don't think that's a good idea. And then the last but not least... Oh, we have team-ups too. Fuck. Alright, we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. I'm going to go a little faster here. Reduce repair mode, direct healing, direct hit healing amount from... Oh, so they're just nerfing Rocket Raccoon's healing a little bit. That's fine. And then I think you're also... There was a team-up thing, right? Yes. I think they're removing... Yeah, armor overload. I'm sorry, I'm, like, blazing through now. But, so he's getting a few nerfs here and there, but the healing shouldn't be too big of a deal. You just gotta aim a little bit better. Just gotta make sure you're hitting them directly. And just keep it up. Be a little heal bot, bro. Stupid-ass update got bugged. Had to delete and reinstall. Oh, no, Duck. I'm sorry, dude. Alright, team up abilities. Let's go real fast here. Bing, bang, boom. Chilling Assault. Luna Snow, Hawkeye. Luna Snow gains 50% increase in healing. Hawkeye gets an Ice Arrow. What does the Ice Arrow do? Does the Ice Arrow freeze people? That's scary. I think I actually saw in the dev, like, talk that I saw it freeze people. Scary. Don't like that. Jeff NATO. Storm. This was kind of funny. Jeff gains... through his team up with Storm. I think I saw, so it's basically just Storm's regular ult, but then there's like a Jeff flying around it, basically, which was kind of funny. I don't know if it's going to make it more damaging or whatnot, but it should be interesting. Microchip. As a team up anchor, Punisher gains a maximum health of 25 and a 5% boost in damage output. Well, that's scary. Black Widow unlocks a new pulse rifle ability through a team up with the Punisher. This is the one, I believe it goes through enemies. That's also scary. I don't think Black Widow's going to be crazy powerful, but it is kind of scary that she can line up a shot and, like, headshot 3 people at once. I feel like that's going to be a good TikTok clip for people, for any of you Black Widow mains. This one I was excited for. I saw this one as well in the video. Rocket Raccoon and Penny Parker. So basically, Rocket Raccoon gets the 5% damage, or 5% increase in his healing. So that healing nerf that he's going to get is not going to matter if... Actually, no, he's always... Wait. 5% increase in healing, but he's the team-up anchor. So that basically means you don't have to have a Penny on the team. Because I believe if you're an anchor, you get the team-up for the season. Or as long as the, as long as it's, like, in effect, in a general sense, and not necessarily within your team comp. Because I believe that's how it works for Groot and other team-up anchors. When the team-up is active, Rocket's BRB is upgraded to a web beacon. Which I believe allows it to, it's like essentially a mini Penny Parker spider nest, I want to say. Yeah, new armored spider nest ability through team up with Rocket. So basically they're able to spawn a second penny nest, and it's able to shoot out armor packs as well, which is going to be quite interesting. I definitely think the penny mains are going to be eating good this season for sure. At least unless, you know, there's a whole bunch of poke just shooting her in the fucking dome. That will not be great. Iron Man, team up anchor. Iron Man gains a 5% boost in damage output, so Iron Man's going to be a bit more of a threat. He's just blanket 5% bonus damage to all of his things. Ultron gains a new nano ray ability with his team up from Iron Man. I believe this also goes through enemies, I want to say. They're big on the piercing. I think Hawkeye also gets a pierce as well. Or he already had a pierce. I think he may already have a pierce, but that's 2 more piercing abilities that you have in the game now. Symbiote shenanigans. Jeff. I think he gets like little, yeah, he gets the little healing tendrils that go out from his body, thanks to Venom. And Venom gains more health, so he's going to be even tankier. I might have to start playing Venom more this season, honestly. But this cements Jeff even more as, like, a regular healer, where he could be in the back and, like, link up to his allies to heal them even more. Adjuster removed. They're taking away the Hawkeye Black Widow team up. That's fine. I don't really see that many people using it, but it is annoying when it is used. Thank God, this right here, this, hated this. You can't push at all. You can't go around at all the corner if he has the team up, because they just go and then you get domed. Like if I'm a Groot or something, I turn the corner and I get fucking domed in the head, and I cannot get away from that quickly enough. I think I'd be fine if he had either this or his turret, but because he was able to have access to both, that was literally what? The turret uptime is like 60 seconds? Maybe not a full minute. Like 30 seconds or so. I feel like you just had it forever. But then you also had the ammo overload too, so if you time it right, that's essentially 2 free abilities where the enemy team just can't round the corner, they can't push, anything like that. So that was mad annoying. Thank God that's gone. Chilling Charisma. Jeff's not going to be able to use the ice thingy with his right click anymore. Cool. Gamma Charge. I believe, yeah, they said Iron Man's going to be taken away from it, so it's literally just Banner and Namor now. Which, honestly, I don't really understand that compared to Iron Man. I feel like these two have much more chemistry, just in general. But what are you going to do? Oh, well. It's not like it was doing much for Iron Man anyway, because of the way that they buffed the right click like normally for him. They basically gave him the team up as a regular part of his kit. With the damage buff that they gave for the right click, so who cares? Symbiote Bond is gone. Spider-Man super nerfed from that, I think. I think he'll still be really good. You just got to be careful with how you try to one-combo people. Like, a big thing with Spider-Man, I'm learning this myself because I'm trying to learn the character, especially with this incoming flying meta. You got to really know, like, when to go in and when to come out. If you don't get your kill, or you don't get your pick real quick, you got to get the fuck out of dodge. And now that he can't do that one-shot combo with the Venom symbiote anymore, it's going to be a little bit harder for him to accomplish that. So you just have to be more cognizant and leave as soon as possible if you're not able to get the kill. Balance changes. Atlas Bond. Oh, I was like, wait, Iron Fist? That's Iron Man. Bro, come on. Come on, MarvelRivals.gg. Get it together. So they're giving a nerf to Iron Fist, basically. Wait, team up anchor damage boost proportion? I forget who the anchor is here. I think it's the Iron Fist, right? Yeah, because Luna gets the new ability, the like burst, the AoE thing that she gets. So this is another nerf to Iron Fist. Cool. Fantastic Four, their team up's getting nerfed a little bit. It's going to be a little longer on the uptime, or a little shorter on the uptime, basically. Or it takes a little longer to get to, sorry. Gamma change, increased Gamma monster cooldown, so it's going to take him a little longer to use the Gamma team up. That's fine. Good, good, good. You can dive a little bit better that way. And the very last thing is mental projection. They've reduced the proportion of damage caused by magnetic resonance. So basically these two illusions from 30% to 20%. So Psylocke, Magneto, I feel like most of the time you use it for bubbles anyway. Like bubbles, the double shield, stuff like that. I don't really use it to like double right click anybody that much. Sometimes I do, not much though. But Psylocke used it a lot to like one combo people. So that damage reduction is gonna hurt for sure. I think overall, these patch notes looking spicy. I'm excited for Ultron. And it's not only the age of Ultron, I think it's the age of strategist mains. I think somebody, hold on, where is it? One of my favorite comments on this video here. Yeah, and just like that, a million new strategist mains were born. I think this is going to be the exact opposite of the strategist strike that we had this past season or whatever. I think people are going to be clamoring to play Ultron and clamoring to play strategist now, which is going to be a nice little turn on its head. But I think that's it. Thank you guys for everything, and we'll catch you on the next one.